Hello, Platt families and students, and welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Emily Ritter, Mrs. Ritter, and I teach 6th and 7th grade math here at Platt. A little bit about me. I have been in part of the Platt community. This is year 8. I started out here as a special ed teacher. I actually started our autism ILC in this building. Then I transitioned to this world of math. I spent 1 year as our interim assistant principal, and now I am back in the math classroom where my heart tells me to be, and I'm so happy to be here this year with you and with your children, and I think we're really gonna have an amazing year. We've still got the masks, but having kids in this building, it feels like magic. It is wonderful, and there's a real beautiful sense of normalcy that is just delightful. So I'm really looking forward to getting things cruising. I've got my notes, sorry, but so a few things to go over. So expectations in class, just so you know what I've told your students. I expect for kids to show up with a positive attitude, with a supportive attitude, and with all of their materials. So for 6th and 7th grade math, I like for students to have a graph paper notebook, not loose leaf graph paper, but in a bound notebook. And that's where everything happens. That is where notes are taken, vocabulary is recorded, work in class is done, and where homework is done. And it just helps to keep everything all together. So much of what we do in this class is hands-on, is community-based. I really believe that kids who can talk about the math have a much better understanding about it themselves, right? And so that kind of circles back to what I was saying about, coming in with that supportive attitude. I'm forever telling my students that I expect aggressive levels of kindness in this classroom, and it really is a thing. I never want to hear the, "Oh my God, you don't understand," or "What's taking you so long?" In this classroom, it is a safe space where students can make mistakes and learn from their mistakes and support each other and feel supported by me. And I really believe in that. Homework is minimal. I really like to keep homework to 15 minutes a night. And so with our block schedule this year, students will only have me 2 block classes a week, and then on Wednesday for a short time. So students will have homework 3 times a week, even if they have me on a Friday, because they then won't see me again until the following Tuesday, so they could do that homework on Monday night. And my expectation is, like I said, 15 minutes. So it will be 15 minutes of whatever we have done that day in class. And what I will tell your students as well, I haven't told them this yet, is 15 minutes is my cutoff. If I assign 5 problems and 15 minutes in, they are not done with the first one, that's okay. They're grown up at home, can sign it off 15 minutes. I will see that the next day, and frankly, that's fantastic feedback for me. That tells me that I didn't review it well enough in class. If students are going home and not able to get through what I've assigned in the allotted time, that means we need to spend a little more time as a group working through it, or one-on-one working through it. So 15 minutes, and then when they come to class the next day after they've done homework, their warm-up will be to correct their homework. The answers to the homework will be displayed on the board. They will go through and correct their homework with pen. Usually I have decided on 1 or 2 questions that I think might have been a little challenging for the class for us to discuss, but I also always open it up to who had questions, was there anything that didn't make sense, so we can review it as a whole group before we move on with that day's lesson. So that is how homework goes. Assessments, all tests and quizzes are eligible for reevaluation. So the whole goal of school in general, right, is for students to learn the content. I never want it to be, that gotcha moment, or for students to feel like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't learn that, and now I just have to move on." The goal is always to help them meet that academic standard and feel confident. So if a student does not do well on a test or a quiz, they come and meet with me. We go through it together. They have the opportunity to fill out test or quiz corrections, and then depending on the specific assessment, sometimes just going through test corrections with me is enough. Usually I'll give them a set of similar problems, a shorter set of similar problems, for them to be able to demonstrate their understanding of the material for an improved grade, but more importantly to demonstrate that they have met that academic standard. We use CMP, the Connected Math Curriculum, supplemented with projects and other activities. Beauty of teaching this content for a few years is I've got it I think I've got it pretty dialed in as far as, where students tend to need a little more help, what areas we can speed up a little bit. But I'm always telling your students, and I extend this to you as well, communication is key. We got to communicate early and often. And I was just joking with the student that, I've been trying to learn to read minds for years, and I'm not getting any better. Their facial expressions help in class sometimes, but hearing from you, even better, hearing from your students that they're having a hard time, something isn't making sense, helps me to be a better teacher for them. So let's make sure we are communicating, like I said, early and often. And then, I guess I'll just end with, as I said before, I really believe in a hands-on, community-based approach to this math class. We play games, we do facilitated group work where students, take turns. I don't want to say being the boss, but kind of being the boss, being the facilitator of group work and making sure that everyone's involved and everyone's voice is at the table, everyone's ideas are being heard. I love sixth graders. I love seventh graders. I feel so lucky to be here at Platt, and I feel so lucky to be supporting your students this year in their math journey. And I know we've got some work to do. Last year was something. With the various scenarios, being at home, being hybrid, I know that we're going to have some gaps, and that's okay, right? So we will meet your students where they are and help them feel confident and successful moving forward through middle school. Thanks so much.